What is going on? This is Michael Colter from Fused Marriages. On today's show, we're talking about love currency. Is love free or does it have a cost? We're going to dive into that today. And you want to stay and watch. At the very end, we have a really cool game we're going to play that we think that may benefit you. All right, let's go.
Thank you for tuning in. We are Tristin and Michael, and you are listening to Fused, transparent conversations for marriage, family, and relationships. We invite you to join us as we discuss topics that are thought about but not talked about. So tell your friends and family to check us out. And as always, join us on all of our socials.
The pre-show was real. Y'all didn't get it. Y'all not gonna see it, but it was something. Maybe we might show behind the scenes one day.
Not that.
I have to edit some of the stuff I said, but you okay?
Okay.
You okay? Anyway.
All right.
How you doing today?
Good. Looking good.
No. You looking good. You didn't change she changed y'all. She had on something. I thought it was good. She said, well, the camera ain't gonna like it. I thought it was.
Are we still a pre-show? Nice. I'm just wondering.
Okay, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Thank you.
But it's okay.
Moving on to our topic.
All right.
Our topic for today. All right. So our topic for today is titled Love Currency. You want to dig into that a little bit?
I like the title. Just like, it kind of just, it intrigued my mind even when I wrote it.
Intrigued your mind?
It did. No, I was like, what does that mean? No, I'm not patting myself on the back. But, you know what I mean? Some things just come to you. You don't surprise yourself sometimes whenever you say something or you write something. Y'all expect to be great. So I ain't, when I do something like hold on.
So y'all better be in the chat saying, yeah, that's a great title. That's a great title. Love currency.
Love currency.
All right, go ahead.
What you got? You want me to spin it off?
Yes, I do.
Okay. See, that's the pre-show attitude. Y'all ain't seen that. I'm put you on close up when we do the edit so they can see it. And if y'all are listening on the podcast, go to YouTube and just check out some of the interaction. That's all I'm saying. All right. So with that being said, the title is Love Currency. With that being said, so one of the things we often say, right, is that, the best things in life are often free. Right. Okay. If I want to take a walk on the beach, I don't have to pay for that. If I want to just catch, the sunset, that's free. You know what I mean? If I want to hug, I don't typically have to pay for that. So typically, my mind went another place for a second. It's like, anyway. But typically, you don't have to pay for that.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, keep going. Just keep going.
A hug, you don't have to pay for that. And love, they say, you know what? You don't have to pay for that either. That the best things in life are often free.
Okay.
And we say, I heard that term. I even subscribe to it a little bit. You know what I mean? Just kind of understanding, like, okay, yeah, I get it. But I think I want us to challenge that. Is love really free?
Okay.
Does love come at a get that type statement? Does love really come at a cost?
Yeah,
you're right. It's like, does love come at a cost? You know what I mean? Is there a cost that's associated with love, right? And I came across a song. I'm just gonna read. I'm not gonna sing it, y'all. I'm not gonna play it either. But the lyrics go like this. It says, "I never know how much it costs to see my sins on the cross." It's a song. We're going to use it as a springboard, right? It is a Christian gospel song that talks about Jesus down on the cross for our sins. But it's suggested in the song, right? And I think we can go figure out and dig into a little deeper that the fact that somebody's love did cost something, right? So I want us to kind of take a look at that, and maybe we can just kind of jump into the first few talking points here.
Okay. So I think it's an interesting premise because we'll get into it, but I think it's an interesting premise. We definitely want to know what you guys think, so make sure that you let us know your thoughts just based on that kind of initial concept. Does love really cost anything, and are the greatest things in life really free? So one of the first things that we have here is each one of these that we're going to talk about through the love currency. They're not all created equal. They might have different measures of what that looks like, the cost of it looks like, but we want to dig in. So the first one is trust.
All right. Trust. We have a definition here. Your ability to believe the actions and the words that someone presents to you. Right. We're suggesting in this case that there's a cost, right, that's associated with this, that it doesn't, and this as part, and this trust is tied to love.
Yeah.
Right. So with that being said, how do you feel about trust and at what cost? And let's say let's just put it in a form that people can maybe digest about trust and love being associated with each other. And is there a value to it that comes with love?
Yeah, so I think that when you first start any relationship, whatever it is, that there is an immediate amount of trust. Like just because you've met somebody, they seem trustworthy, and then you either add or subtract from that based on interactions and engagements. And so to add trust, you're going to have to, there is a cost. There's a certain amount of things that you have to sacrifice, certain things that you have to do. I have to trust your word that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. Even if it's not a convenient thing, that's a cost. There's a certain amount, and I'll use a very easy example, like a child automatically just trusts their parents.
Right.
And then if their parents, hey, you're going to pick them up from school, and you don't pick them up from school, or there are things that happen in the family and that trust is dissolved, or man, my mom always shows up, my dad always shows up, then that trust is grown. So I think that is the same in a marriage or a relationship or any kind of really relational dynamic. But I think that the cost of it, depending on where you are in life, can vary, and what the relationship means to you. So, for example, if you're a single parent and you enter into a relationship, it costs more to trust because there's more at stake. And then if the person is let down, that costs a lot, because now I have to almost build back up to that point where I was before. So I think trust is a fragile, costly one. What do you think?
No, I was digesting what you were saying. I'm like, I thought it was very good what you said, and like just the idea that, you know what, if love does have currency, trust is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I think how you put it, right, I love how you said it, like sometimes you can add or subtract depending on what you did, right? I just subtracted a few times. We're like, hold on, I didn't forgot, do the dishes one night, or didn't get the kids picked up on time, or didn't put them to sleep on time after I said I would do it, right? There's a trust, but even if it's something small like that, it can kind of you know what I mean? It's still a balance, and not to say we try to keep balancing with love, but there's a currency involved with it.
I think it's interesting that you say that, because sometimes we don't count penny as money. Like we say oh, well, it's just a penny.
Right.
And so you don't think about that as a deduction. But enough of those pennies, enough of those nickels and dimes and quarters, because we like to count the big things. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. So I didn't do that. And you think that that's the only currency that there is in a relationship, the thing that you didn't do that was big. But we ignore often the little deductions, the pennies and the nickels that can kind of make you feel like if I say something about them, I'm harping, or, I'm picking, but they matter. And so I think that it's important that we find ways to communicate the little things that really do matter to us without it being like trying to pick apart our partner. And then we have to also ask, is this a reasonable thing? When I'm talking about, okay, was this reasonable? Is this something I need to blow up at? Or is this something that's just like a preference, and figuring out where we fit in there? Because sometimes that trust thing, well, not sometimes, I would argue that it needs to be communicated. Hey, this is an area that I feel uneasy about, and I really need your partnership in this. And then that builds and grows trust, because the other person might not even know that that's something that bothers you or something that you're needing from them. And especially, and I'll say this and we can move on, especially if you're honest enough to say that there's some things that you brought in that you're not attributing to this person, but it's a scar or it's a wound. Hey, the last person that I was with, I just want to be honest, I don't want to put that on you, but I do have some residual fear, or I do have some concern. How can we partner so that this doesn't become something that is eating away at me? And being willing to have those really hard dialogues and being able to receive it without being defensive. Well, that wasn't me. I didn't do it. Yeah. And when you do that, you build trust and you grow kind of in that love bank where you're making those important deposits. So.
Wow. I mean, just hearing that, we're going to do something really cool, y'all, at the very end of this, but I'm going to just kind of give a prelude to it, is that we're we're going to get some value to it at the very end of each one of these 3 attributes.
Okay.
Of what, because like we're hearing what you just said, trust is a pretty big one. Yeah. If I had to put a dollar amount on it, I would probably put a pretty big dollar amount on it in comparison to the other 2. Okay. And I'll continue with your other 2. Let's go to the next one though.
Okay.
All right. So trust, love currency, right? Mm-hmm. Trust being one of the currencies for love.
Okay.
The second one for the currency of love is transparency. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's read the definition that we have here. Your ability to expose your true self and emotions without regard or retribution, right? And I think we put in here, quote, your true self. A lot of times we're showing, right? We're exposing ourselves to some degree. But a lot of times it's not our true self, at least even not initially. And maybe some people never. You never really get to know the real me.
Well, like, why is that? Because I've heard that specifically from from male perspective, like you're not really seen, and there's got to be some reason. Like, why do men feel the need? This might be a whole nother show, but why is there that kind of barrier to show that true self, to have that level of transparency? Because some of that feels like it could go with trust, but you talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking as you were asking me that question, hard for me to answer for everybody, but at least the men that I talk to, and I can speak for myself, definitely trust is in there, right? Trust in your partner. But another one that men struggle with is vulnerability. Okay. Right. Can I be this, I got everything put together, and can I be this quirky, kind of goofy type, person too, and y'all not look at me like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We don't have that flexibility or the vulnerability or the mindset to be able to kind of allow ourselves to be that without being judged. We're probably going to judge ourselves first. They're going to think something about me if I be this. Versus, even you giving the feedback to that. We're going to first shut it off on our end. I think you got to learn to be comfortable with yourself, right? We're all multifaceted and have different ways of how we operate and what we do. And sometimes everybody can't see everything, but your significant other should see most of the sides of you, if not all of them.
So if I'm a wife and I want to see all of my spouse, and I feel like, man, there's just these pieces that I don't get to enjoy, how do I make that a safe space for you to be all these many different parts of yourself without feeling you have to shield or keep away some of them?
Man, I'm getting interviewed here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there are people out here that are really, yeah.
But I'm saying your questions are like, man, they some thinking question. You got my mind. If I start sweating to see a bee coming out because I'm thinking, y'all, they ain't, I'm not hot today. Okay. The other day I might have been hot. But, oh my goodness. So with that being said, I think women do an excellent job of creating an environment for the house, the relationship to live in. I'm saying the house is the space that we go to every day. The relationship is what we live in, is right, as a couple, as a family, as a unit. And I think women do an excellent job of developing that environment or not developing that environment. Okay. Right? If, we look at the physical space when the man comes home and it's like contentious, you know what I mean? Everything's kind of out of whack and this, that, and the other. He going to sit outside in his car for a little bit. Some of y'all doing that. I know y'all mean, because I didn't done it before. And it's not a judgment, but it is something that we do. You know what I mean? I'm talking men that may be doing, or maybe have households that do that. Is that we'll drive around the block 8 times before we walk into the house, because
it's from one fight to another fight.
Yeah, because the environment is not one I'm gonna come in and be, okay, man, I can just, I can lay things down, or I can keep them to myself. Whatever the environment is, I have the space to be that. Yeah. And I think that's one of the responsibilities, I believe, of a woman, and kind of how the family works, is that environment has to be set. And the man has a responsibility too. Yeah. But I think y'all do such a better job of just, you know what I mean? You got the nurturing kind of spirit. You're just able to kind of set the stage. Y'all always good with decor for the most part. We got men, some of y'all can decorate. But you know what I mean? Just the idea that it's just like y'all kind of set that temperature of what it feels like to be home.
And that gives you the freedom to be all of those many parts.
That helps a lot.
Conversely, what shuts down that part, that transparency, that vulnerability, that being fully all of yourself?
Yeah. Of course, the easy answer is the opposite of that, right? Just to kind of like not having the right environment, or just, you know what? Because every man is different. Just kind of like, man, just like being able to, because talking to your man and talking to your girl is different. And I know it's true for vice versa too, but I'm just talking about in this case as a man being vulnerable. if you gonna say 100 words and he got, you know what I mean, before he get a chance to say, we don't quite operate like that with our boys.
100 words. Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm throwing a number out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to say it's 100, whatever it is. Like,
did you go from 100 to 500?
Okay. So, but like how you talk to your girls or your sisters or your mother is different. And y'all sometimes may try to carry that over to us. We may try to carry how we talk to our guys to y'all too. So I'm not trying to say it's perfect on our end either. So, because, I got to use more words. I realize when I talk to you, right? I got to be more descriptive. I got to be more colorful. I got to explain them more.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to, my boy Raymond or Shane, I can just kind of like, hey, this what's up? Everything good? Yeah, it's good, man. I'm at work, this, that, and the other. And they good with that. But with you, what happened? What was the conversation like? Who did what in the meeting? Oh, you take notes in the meeting? I take notes in the meeting. Like, hold on, what?
I take notes in all my meetings.
Yeah. I'm like, what
I do.
What was your third bullet point? I'm like, hold on, you weren't even there. I'm just giving you the highlight. But yeah, that's kind of funny to me.
It's also true.
But it's just different. You know what I mean? And I think both husband and wife have to be flexible enough to say, okay, you know what, I got to be a little different than maybe what I am with my boys than I'm with my wife.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed, and this might be something too, like thinking about where that starts. And I notice, like, I see a lot of, like, our son's friends and how he is, and just making sure that we are urging him to be fully himself, because you see a lot, and you might have seen this with some of your children's friends, but, like, the way the parent is starts to transform the way that the child is. Like, they start conforming. If you want your house quiet all the time, and the kid will get in trouble if they're not quiet, then they start to be more quiet. Not necessarily because that's their nature, but because that's the nurture, that's the environment. And so I think it's interesting how a household or a society makes somebody feel like transparency is safe and vulnerability is safe, and how that's carried from one space to another. So I think it's important for us, like if you're in a relationship, because we're talking about relationships and family, to maybe explore what was their upbringing like. Was a man being able to cry? Did you ever see your dad cry? Did you ever see your uncles cry? Was that something that was permitted, or was that something that was weak? What did the men in your family do? How did they handle things? Did they shut down? Did you ever notice that? Did they talk a lot? Did y'all talk about feelings? And a lot of environments, depending on what era you were born in, men and women operated emotionally very different. So what is transparency is very different. So I think when we're exploring conversations about transparency, that's one thing to consider is upbringing. The next one I want to get to is consistency, the ability to predict how a person will respond to critical life events or situations.
Yeah, we're talking about the currency of love, right? I think there's a cost to that associated with this that is tied to love, right? To how much consistency you do or don't have, and how it relates to love. I guess you kind of know my background, where I come from. Somebody said they're gonna do something, and it could be just like, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up at the store, and I'll be there at 4:05.
Yeah.
Hey, they at 4:05. You know what I mean? So it's
I was raised that I'm around the corner.
A lot of people are too.
It could be anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah. So this one's a big one for me. For his love, like, and that's in action of doing something, but also like the emotional consistency. Right. Whenever life hits you in the face, and you got to respond, like, how do you respond to that? Are you consistent and still like, okay, right, when we human, right? So we're going to go through some kind of emotional something. Yeah. But are you able to like, okay, you know what? I can get back to who I am. Yeah. Or if you get something really, really good and like, I got, $18 million in the bank account yesterday. Are you going to go crazy? That consistency of like saying, you know what? I don't care if I got 18 million or 8,000 or 800. I'm still me. I may get something bigger, different, this, that, and the other. I'm not saying we shouldn't celebrate this, this, that, and the other. But like, you know what? No, I get it. Tristin is this. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I can count on it. Yeah. To me, that adds to the love bank or the love currency in a pretty significant way.
Absolutely. And from just my perspective, and as far as I know, a lot of women really do value that consistent man in their life. And that, I mean, hey, if we have bad days or we go through things, that's part of the relationship, but knowing that they're solid, that is a big deal. And as you said, conversely true for the wife, but that is and I think that that stabilizes the family. If both of you can be emotionally and physically consistent, if you're present, all of those, you're able to pour into the family dynamics, whether you have children or not, or you're just or you're not just, but if you're a mentor or a sibling or a child, then you're able to be one of those people that are reliable, because consistency creates reliability.
No, agreed. And I was just thinking, as you were saying that, I think just from a man standpoint, I think this is one of the most important attributes of love that a man can have, and is being consistent emotionally, right? Not having these wild swings of whatever, good or bad situations, that your wife, your family, your kids can depend on you to say, you know what? Okay, regardless of what's going on, I can ride. I can get on daddy's back because he got us locked down, right? Whenever we're not, as men, emotionally stable, we had conversations around this. I had some other brothers I talked to, but like, it's just, and it came up as a topic, like, man, we gotta be solid, because life is still lifing. It ain't hard, it ain't difficult, things ain't going on, challenges aren't there. But I look for us as men to be the rock to say, okay, you know what, we can hold it down. We can hold it down. So yeah, I just challenge myself. I challenge other men, like, hey, how do we be that? Sometimes that takes counseling. Sometimes being around other guys, what does it look like, right? When I go to life situations, right? Yeah. Money ain't right, or kids acting crazy, or job or something going on at the work. How do we adjust to that and still say, you know what, I'm emotionally stable for my household? Yeah,
that's huge. That's big. When you were saying that, I'm going to say this last thing, and then we can kind of get to, you said the fun thing.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be cool, y'all. Y'all going to like this.
You're really building it up. So.
I am. Hey, y'all got to stay to the end. It's going to be good.
Okay. But as you were saying that, and you mentioned counseling, I think that it is really important if you find yourself like unstable in any area, if you're mentally or emotionally unstable, because there's lots of things that life can do that can rock you. You can deal with death. You can have dealt with previous relationships. You can deal with other traumas and dramatic circumstances that can make you kind of unstable in any of these areas. So seeking help, seeking wise counsel, making sure that you're involved in community and some sort of friend group, I think is just really important, because to your point, it's hard to build trust or transparency or consistency really when almost any of these other things are missing, because there are holes that really need to be filled, and sometimes we end up filling them with the wrong thing.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so to your game.
All right. So this is cool. I think y'all should just consider doing this too. We're going to give our insight on how we would rate these. So one of the things we're going to do is that we're going to take the 3 attributes. We have say love costs $1,000. Okay, y'all work with me on it. It costs $1,000.
Okay.
You can break up the $1,000 for your love currency any way you want between these 3. Okay. You want to give the highest value to which one you think is the one that impacts your love the most of how you receive it. Okay. Okay. So you got $1,000. Right, you got to split it up between these 3. We're gonna give our insights on because how I split mine is gonna be different from how you split yours up, and how y'all split y'all's is gonna be different from how you know what I mean. So
we haven't talked about this at all.
No,
so I don't know.
So it's good. I mean, So what you got? What you need? We want to just pick out. I'll coach you through it. Okay. So out of the 3, which one is your highest one? If you had to pick one, which your highest? Start with that. Which
Trust.
one? Trust. Okay, you got $1,000 total. We start subtracting. Okay. How much value would you give to the trust currency?
$500.
Okay, so half, y'all. See, we kind of talked about that along the way. I thought trust was a pretty big one. So half of how you see love, the love currency is $500. Okay, good. What's number 2?
Can the other 500 just be split equally?
Oh no, it's up to you. That's everybody's different.
Yeah, equally split, transparency and consistency.
Okay, so 250 and 250. So both of them are kind of equally split. Okay, so good. So you have 500 for trust, 500 for transparency. I'm sorry, 250 for transparency and 250 for consistency. Okay, that's good. I mean, so for me, like to know that, or listening to say y'all doing exercise too, right? It's good. It's good for you. It's good for me to know. So hey, if I have a trust.
That's a good game. I'm gonna have to think about this.
Figure it out. So let
me hear yours. Yes. All right. So wait, I have to do what you did. Okay, you have $1,000. Okay. You have to split it between trust, transparency, and consistency. Where would you give the one that's the most important to you? Which one is the most important? Don't tell me the number yet.
Yeah, I've been struggling with this, to be honest with you. I knew it for the last 4 or 5 days, and I still couldn't, my mind was still trying to figure it out.
It's your game.
It's my game, and I'm like, but I'm going to go with transparency being my number one.
Okay. Ooh.
My number one.
Okay, so it's not part of the game. Why?
Why transparency? To be honest with you, I went between transparency and consistency, where it was really between the two.
Interesting.
And even right now, I'm like, I can pick either one. Like, I'm going with transparency because somebody's ability for me to be able to see them and then be able to see me, to me, that represents love at a pretty high level. And I'm talking about see me, not who the world sees, not who my kids see, not who my mom and dad see. I'm talking about like me as a person.
Well,
and to be transparent is high. It's high for me. That's why.
What's the number you would put on it?
Oh man, that's another good question. So what I'll put on it is, I'll probably say 400.
Oh wow. Okay.
400. It's not quite half, but I would say 400.
So I'm guessing you follow that up pretty closely with consistency.
Consistency, agreed. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I would give consistency 300. So not quite the same level, but it's around 300.
And then you are rounding it out with trust.
Yeah, with trust. So that's 700. So then I mean, that's 7,000. And then I'll say 7,000. 700. hey, don't y'all judge me. I'm doing this in my head real time right now. So don't you judge me. 400 plus 300 is 700. That leave me 300 left. So then 300 for trust.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm curious as to why you put trust last.
It's still equal though. I think they're both 300.
Yeah.
So, but because trust, the idea is that, I look at actions and words and oftentimes, people are not perfect. So you may say the wrong thing. You know what I mean? You may do the wrong thing. So like for me, I'm like, okay, I can work with that.
You can still make some more deposits.
If you're going behind the corner, doing some stuff you shouldn't be doing, it's different.
Yeah, there are different levels.
Yeah, it's different levels to it. So I can draw a line somewhere, but to me, I got a little grace in the trust area. This is how I'm built.
Love it. Well, y'all are gonna have to let us know when y'all do the test here. $1,000. And you have to rank them with your partner: trust, transparency, and consistency. And talk about your answers, because I just learned some things that are new for our relationship, and I think that they're really interesting. It's always important that you learn with your partner, so maybe you'll find out something new about yours. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us here on Fused. Make sure you connect with us on Facebook and Instagram, and check out our website, Fused Marriages, for more content and details. Thanks. Let's talk about it.
Work it out. Fused marriages. Let's make it last forever.